A Florida man broke into a woman's home to pet her cat. A Florida man with no arms stabbed a tourist. A Florida man with a kitten was denied entry into a strip club. And a Florida man called 911 to report cocaine inside his butt. These are the weird stories on Friday on Weird AF News. They're all from the state of Florida. It's Florida Friday. Not only that, this Florida Friday is a recycled episode from January 2022, and it's one of the greatest Florida Friday episodes I think I've ever produced. Enjoy.
Those bizarre stories you hear about all the time that seem to only happen here in Florida. I know, right?
Can't make this stuff up. It is just one of the many wacky news stories out of Florida.
Why does the Sunshine State consistently produce such strange news?
But what accounts for all this bizarre news? Is it the weather? Is it the people?
Florida is full of the crazy stories.
A Florida man broke into a lady's house in order to pet the family cat. Oh, breaking into a house to pet a cat. Drugs, dun, 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 dun. All I really want is drugs, do, 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 do. And in the morning it's drugs, do, 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 do. And in the evening it's drugs, do, 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 do. St. Petersburg, Florida. A Florida lady said that she was startled when she woke up to find her neighbor petting her cat. Oh, what are you doing in my house, neighbor? You trying to borrow some milk? Huh? Did you lose your electricity? Huh? You need a condom because you got a lover over? No, just here to pet your cat, lady. You never let me. I had to wait till you went to sleep. Here's a quote from Brittany. I could see the shadow of a man standing at the edge of my bed. Yeah. That's it. That's the quote. Oh, no, there's more. Hold on. There was a man crouched down at the foot of my bed. He wasn't exactly looking at me, which is strange because I find myself to be pretty nice to look at when I'm in bed. I have these very nice pajamas that I like to wear. They have monkeys on them. I think they're pretty sweet. Yeah, it's a full onesie to my bed, my monkey bedtime gear. Well, he wasn't looking at me. No, he wasn't looking at me. He was actually petting my cat. Yeah, petting my cat. Doesn't say what her cat's name is in the story. It says here her cat jumped off the bed initially. That's what woke her up. And then the cat apparently went up to the stranger, just allowed itself to be pet. This is why you don't get a cat, man. You need a dog. A dog doesn't jump out of bed and go run to the stranger who's broken into your home to allow itself to be pet. No, the dog jumps up and bites this stranger in the genitalia area. If it's a small dog, it just goes at the ankles. It still can be effective. I don't know if you've ever had a Chihuahua gnaw at your ankle, but that could scare you off a little bit. They do have a very, very loud, sharp, ear-piercing bark that's also very good. That'll wake you up to make sure you're up and aware that somebody's trying to come inside your bed, steal something from your house. Who knows? So, just an argument to have a dog instead of a cat. This cat apparently just enjoyed being stroked by a stranger and didn't do anything to save Brittany's life. Brittany said the man got away, but he returned Wednesday morning. What is it? Huh? This time she was ready for him. She was ready for him, as were the police. Here's a quote from her. I can't believe he came back. That's all. That's the quote. I can't believe he... Oh, one more quote. I hope he goes to prison for a long time. These are really crappy quotes. I apologize. When the quotes are bad, I like to embellish them a little bit. I hope you'll forgive me for that. The whole monkey pajama thing. That really wasn't in the story, of course. I got a lot of questions about this neighbor that just came back to pet the cat. Like, just can't stop petting the cat. And after he was in your house the first time, you just let that slide, Brittany? You're like, I'm just going to let that go. Let's just hope he doesn't come back again. If somebody breaks into my bedroom, it's the last time they're breaking into my bedroom. That's for damn sure. Now, I think clearly this neighbor's on drugs, but also I would add to the equation the possibility of this neighbor living with people who are allergic to cats. And this individual wants to be around a cat, wants to pet a cat, but can't bring a cat home, lives in one of those environments. It's like I have a nut allergy, and so it's difficult if I date someone who loves to eat nuts, and because you can't eat a bunch of nuts and then kiss me afterward. I have to kind of stay 6 feet away from you. So Sometimes these allergies, they keep you from what you love, is what I'm saying. Yay! A Florida man with no arms stabs a tourist. An armless Florida man was arrested this week after he allegedly stabbed a tourist. Jonathan Crenshaw is a homeless street artist in the area of Miami, Florida, who frequently paints on canvas near such tourist attractions that are in the South Beach area. Jonathan Crenshaw, age 46, has no arms. He uses his feet to paint these on these canvases that I assume he sells to the tourists. Uses his feet to paint and allegedly used his feet again to stab a tourist named Cesar after midnight on Tuesday. Miami Beach police say the artist clutched a pair of scissors in his feet and stabbed the visitor twice with scissors. However, Jonathan Crenshaw, the armless artist, claimed he was acting in self-defense, telling the police he was lying down, that this guy Cesar Coronado, who was visiting from Chicago, punched him in the head. That's terrible. You shouldn't punch a guy with no arms on the ground trying to paint. Coronado's friend Cindy told the police this is not the case. She was there, apparently. She says that her friend was simply asking Crenshaw for directions when the street artist jumped up and allegedly stabbed him. That sounds not really believable, but then again, yeah, this is Florida, so I shouldn't say those words, really. Anything's possible. You could be stabbed by someone with arms. You could be stabbed by somebody without arms. You wouldn't expect that. This guy clearly stabs people with his feet. If he's going to stab people, I'd imagine he uses the feet. Because he paints with the feet. What's that movie with the guy with my left foot, whatever, does everything with his feet? This is one of those real life situations. This guy. You got to be pretty skilled to stab somebody with your feet. I have to say, it's a little too much work for me. If I had no arms and I wanted to stab you, I'd be like, you know what? Not today. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stab you. I'm going to hire someone else to stab you. You can't even spray a pepper spray can without arms. That seems difficult as well. Although this guy probably could do so. Could he fire a gun? That's what I'd like to know. How much skills with the toes does Jonathan Crenshaw have? Probably. He could probably do a lot of damage with his feet too. He could probably, I don't know, he could probably use a computer to steal your crypto with just his toe, I'd imagine. I don't know. I'm going off the rails, clearly. Hey, it's Friday. I'm highly caffeinated. Now, Coronado, the dude from Chicago, suffered wounds to his left arm and was admitted to a local hospital. Crenshaw's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, it says here. My goodness. This is not the first time that he's had trouble with the law. Oh, no, what did he do? The media reported that Crenshaw has been arrested several times for trespassing, disorderly intoxication, battering police, and engaging in illegal Rochambeau for cash escapades. That's funny because he has no arms. He can't really do Rochambeau without the arms. Get it, guys? I think I just no-armed shamed somebody. I'm very sorry. Please don't cancel me, guys. Don't. Actually, please cancel me. Get me out of this closet, will you please? Oh, no, look at this. This guy, Crenshaw, is accused of allegedly feeding his mother rat poison. Oh, this guy's terrible. So I'm actually quite pleased that I no-arm shamed him. That's what he gets. You don't try and give your mother rat poison. What's wrong with you? A Florida man with a cat was denied entry into a strip club. This took place in Murdoch, Florida. Please don't tell me you've heard this one. A man walks into a strip club with a cat. Ba-da-bum, chick. Hit the wall on that one because I don't have a hi-hat. Okay, it says this guy named Everett tried to enter a Murdoch, Florida strip club with a kitten. But when he and his kitten were both refused entry, he repeatedly called 911. Deputies arrested him, of course, for misusing 911 and other charges, I'd imagine, trying to bring a kitten into a strip club. According to the media, deputies were called to the Emerald City Gentlemen's Club. Oh, it's a gentlemen's club. Yeah, you can't bring any wildlife into the gentlemen's club. What do you think this is? A very upstanding gentlemen's club in Murdoch, Florida, sir. You can bring bags of meth in here, but you cannot bring wildlife. We do not tolerate wildlife in the club. This is on South Florida's golf course. This happened about 9 at night. The owner told him he has to leave the kitty outside. Instead, Everett sat down outside the business and called 911. He's like, you can't go in without the cat. Okay, fine, I can't go in without the cat. I'm going to call the people who I think can make this happen for me. I'm going to call the people who possibly can get me inside the strip club with my kitten, Ruffles. Who would those people be, Everett? Oh, it's the police. The police can get me in there. Sure, I'm going to call 911. If anybody can get me in this strip club with my wildlife, with my pet, it's the police. They'll understand my feet. They'll understand what I'm feeling right now. Well, the deputies obviously spoke to Everett. They noted that he what? Oh, appeared intoxicated. Stop it. You mean a guy tried to take a kitten into a strip club and he wasn't sober? And he called 911 because he couldn't get in, because he thought that 911 could get him inside. The deputies told Everett that he needed to leave the premises, and they actually assisted in calling a taxi for him, which is supremely nice. You know, there's something about a man with a kitten, you know, makes them seem harmless in a way, but keep in mind, this is a Florida man. Never should you assume a Florida man is harmless, even if they're holding a very cute, adorable kitten. So the taxi arrived, and Everett wouldn't cooperate with the driver. Well, maybe the driver told him he couldn't get in with his kitten. Instead, it says here, Everett began yelling and causing a disturbance further. He insisted that the strip club owner had committed a crime by denying him entry to the club and his cat's entry into the club. He kept calling 911 on his cell phone again, even though the deputies were already there. He's calling them, and they're already there. Well, I'm calling the police. I'm going to how dare you. You know what this club owner did to me? You know what this strip club has a policy? Apparently you can't bring felines in. I don't understand it. I'm calling the police. Everett, we're right here. The police are right here. We're right next to you. We called you this cab. Do you recall? Obviously, they had to go forward and finally arrest this intoxicated man for such charges as misuse of the 911 system, disorderly intoxication, trespassing with a feline, resisting arrest. What happened to the kitty? Oh, the kitty is reportedly in the custody of animal control. Please give this kitten to somebody other than a Florida man.
This episode is brought to you by Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels and music are made for each other. They share a rhythm in the craft of making something timeless, while being a part of legendary nights. From backyard jams to sold-out arenas, there's a song in every toast. Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Tennessee whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee.
A Florida man called 911 to complain about the cocaine in his butt. There's a theme here, guys. Misuse of 911. Although maybe it's very serious when you get your cocaine way up your butt. You can't get it out. That's a problem. I need my cocaine. Help me get it out. Or I can just wait till it absorbs. Party time. Collier County, Florida. Guy calls 911 and claims that I have cocaine in my butt. Yeah. He called 911 actually 3 times that day. What's his name? His name is Mustafa. He called 911 3 times on Wednesday from a McDonald's. The first time he called, he said, they got my burger order wrong. And he said they got my burger order wrong again on the second 911 call. On the third 911 call, he said, not only did they get my burger order wrong, but I have cocaine in my butt. That's just TMI, bro. Mustafa knows nothing about TMI. So how did it go down? The deputies arrived at the McDonald's. What, does he just use like the payphone right at the McDonald's? You just don't leave the premises. You call 911. All right. What do I know about this sort of mental activity of a Florida man with cocaine in his butt? The deputies show up at the McDonald's. Employees claimed that Mustafa had been yelling and cursing at the poor staff, who really work hard over the holidays. Mustafa had been yelling at them over a mistaken order, apparently, and the employees wanted him taken off the premises. Mustafa said he wouldn't leave the premises unless his burger was fixed. Doesn't say what he wanted. Maybe he wanted his Big Mac with no onions. Now, when I was a young boy, for some reason, I really wasn't into onions. A stretch of years where I just wasn't into them. And I would order my Big Mac without onions, and I'd have to wait. You have to wait a little longer for it. The deputies told Mustafa that he has to leave. You just got to leave, bro. That's when he said, fine, well, then take me to jail. I'm not leaving. He raised his hands towards the deputy. The deputy escorted the disgruntled customer from the burger joint. Upon searching his pockets, they found some marijuana folded into a napkin. Well, that wasn't up his butt. So apparently he put some of the drugs up his butt. The others he keeps on his person. While he was being placed into the patrol car, he admitted again that he had another drug on him, in his crack. He had something in his crack. Was it crack in the crack? No, it was cocaine in the crack. It's the same thing he said over 911. Mustafa was taken to the Naples Jail Center. Naples Jail Center. I love how they call it a center. Like there's some shopping going on there. The deputy was told that Mustafa would have to be medically cleared before being admitted. I assume that means have someone put their hand up his keister and take out that cocaine that he claimed he has? Oh, that's not a job I want. Oh boy, it's that poor medical person. It's the holidays. How you spending your Christmas? Oh, I got to put my hand up a Florida man's butt and remove the cocaine.
At New Balance, we believe if you run, you're a runner. However you choose to do it. Because when you're not worried about doing things the right way, you're free to discover your way. And that's what running is all about. Run your way at newbalance.com/running.
Hello, my friends and loyal listeners. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Florida Friday. You may have noticed that the sound quality is a little bit different in the intro and outro of this, and that we're doing a recycled episode. As I explained on yesterday's podcast, my sound equipment was damaged on my flight to Boston, and so I had to order a microphone that should be arriving this weekend, and I'll try and get back on track with recording recent or new episodes of Weird AF News, I should say. Meanwhile, I'm recycling an old episode. In this case, it's a Florida Friday episode from January 2022, and it's amazing. Every story, all 4 of them are just outrageous. So I hope you enjoy that. Please bear with me while I deal with this, what do they call them? Tech dysfunctions, technological issues. Oh, I have to give a shout out. Hold on. I'd like to give some thanks and praise to Kate Campbell, who bought me some coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com. Shout out to Kate Campbell, very generous fan, listener, loyal of Weird AF News. She wrote, "Hey, Jonesy, here's some coffees on me for making my morning coffee weird AF. I know you love when your listeners send you links to current crazy local stories, but unfortunately, Annapolis is pretty boring. Just a bunch of preppy conservative sailors bitching about living in a blue state with an Aussie mayor. I did some digging way back and found a story for it for if you ever do a Weird AF history episode." And then she included a link. I have questions about this. Do you really have an Aussie mayor, a mayor from Australia for your city? I didn't even know that. That's pretty fascinating. I've never been to Annapolis, but yeah, so I don't know much about it. Thank you for educating all of us, Kate Campbell, and thank you for being so generous and buying me coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com, where you all can go and buy me coffees of weirdafnews.com. You can also join the Patreon there and make a PayPal payment, any of that, any of the support that you want to put out there. I'm grateful for whatever, or do nothing. Just enjoy your weekend, right? Have a couple of pops and listen to Weird AF News. Tell a friend maybe. That doesn't cost anything. I'd also like to make an announcement and a request for support for one of my listeners who's also a fan of my stand-up comedy, Elizabeth Burnett from Vernon, Texas. So I've met Elizabeth a couple of times. She's come to see me when I perform stand-up comedy in Dallas, and she's amazing and very supportive of me. So I want to be supportive of her. This is what we do here. We help each other out, right, at Weird AF News, this community that we have. Anyways, Elizabeth's family owns an independent movie theater, a little theater. They've owned it for about 20 years or more. And it's actually historic. It's the historic Vernon Plaza Theater in Vernon, Texas, opened in 1953. It's a landmark of Texas cinemas, and they're raising some funds to replace their seats in this little theater. So they're trying to raise $10,000. They're halfway there. So I'm going to post a link in the description of this podcast, and I'll also share the link on my social medias, the Weird AF News Instagram specifically, with a link that you can go if you want to help out one of the weirdos here. I think it's really cool, supporting local arts, and that would include a local family-owned independent movie theater. I think it's very, very important to have independent movie theaters in your community. We have a couple in the Los Angeles area, one in Orange County as well that I go to. I love my indie movie theaters. They play movies that I'm not one of these, I want to see the superhero movie guy. I want to see like Clockwork Orange on the big screen, something like that, and so you get that with your local theaters. So you have to support them, keep them open, keep them operating. It's very important. So I'll post a link so that you can donate to the Vernon Plaza Theater and maybe help out our friend Elizabeth. So anyways,
And it's Anyway, Jonesy. I got it. Anyway. I am in Boston this weekend doing shows starting tonight at Nick's Comedy Stop. You can find all the information on my Instagram at FunnyJones. Please come out to see me. If you cannot afford a ticket, you just DM me and I'll get you on the guest list. If you're a member of the Patreon, I'll get you free tickets. Just DM me at FunnyJones or message me on the Patreon. And I guess that's about it. It was lovely serving you today. Hope you have a nice weekend and good luck with your life, man.